Hello and welcome back to Marion's Money Talk podcast. It has been a really busy time for us here at Marion, as we are proudly providing the interface for the upcoming University of Malaya's Malaysian Finance Expert Convention, or in short, MFEC. We can't wait to launch Marion's first ever varsity version of our modern AI-powered simulator, which will be used by more than 300 participants to test their stock trading skills. Today marked the 5th episode of our podcast, and we are going to kickstart a series of episodes featuring our partner, the MFEC 2022. Joining me today is my co-host Andrew, and we have with us two special guests from the MFEC Organizing Committee, Lucas Lim and Jacklyn Lim. Hi Lucas and Jacqueline, welcome to the Money Talk podcast. It's a great pleasure to have you both on our podcast. Can you both introduce yourselves to our listeners? Like who you are, what do you do at uni, which year are you both currently in, and what sort of role do you hold in MFEC?
Hello everybody, I'm Lucas, a finance year 2 student at UM, same as Jacqueline. In MFEC, what I actually did and I'm currently doing right now is to give jobs to my committee, especially to Jacqueline. Besides this, I guess I have another role. That is being the public face of MFEC to speak with externals and also our school lecturers. How about you, Jacqueline?
Hi, Team Marion and the audience of the Money Talk podcast. I'm Jacqueline, a year 2 student at University Malaya. And my role in MFEC is to liaise with externals, find speakers, and act as a bridge between the partners and also the organizing committees.
Thanks for your introduction, Lucas and Jacqueline. It's truly exciting that, MFEC is fast approaching, and in fact, in a day's time. Can you both please describe to our listeners what is MFEC and what's the purpose of this convention?
Speaking of this year's MFEC, I would say it's a revamped program led by a bunch of enthusiastic finance students like me, under our association, namely University of Malaya Finance Association, in collaboration with the Marion team. In MFEC, participants are to embark on a 3-week trading journey, gaining extensive insights and opportunities to hone essential skills to be a smarter investor. We share the same mission with Marion. In MFEC, we want our participants to step out from their fear and start trading. And that is why we want to collaborate with Marion, where users can have 0% risk but 100% gain on knowledge.
Thanks for the very good introduction to MFEC and also the description of the purpose of the convention. Well, I know that both of you are students and are always kept busy with your studies, so it's truly impressive to see that both of you are so active in the organization of this convention. Can I please ask, what are some of the motivations behind your involvement in the organizing of this event?
To be honest, I joined this event because I see a lot of people my age are involving themselves in stock and crypto trading like Mr. Lucas here. I mean, so do I. I would love to have a hands-down experience as well, but I'm not really sure where to start. And I figure that maybe many of the Malaysian youth out there are in the same boat as me. So that's how my journey with MFEC kind of started. And we hope that the MFEC participants who are like me will gain confidence and utilize the knowledge learned to start trading in their real life, especially when we had an amazing real-time simulator platform offered by our partner, Marion.
That's great. Thank you, Jacqueline. I mean, we can't wait to work closely with you guys and to showcase the simulator to your participants. It'll be great. And I'm sure we will definitely be able to help with increasing the financial literacy of Malaysians, especially the beginner investors. So I know that, everybody would have to start from scratch, and especially people who have not come to learn about stock investing. And a lot of these first timers, as I know, I've come across a lot of my friends who came to me and say that, I'm not quite sure what to do. Like now I want to learn about investing. And, what some of your experience, the first experience about stock investing, and how do you come to know about stock investing? Can both of you share a little bit of your experience with our listeners?
I actually got my first time stock trading experience from a simulation competition last year. Frankly speaking, it was an awful one because I joined that competition without a base of trading knowledge. And what I did was just choosing stocks with good fundamental aspects. About the time when we came about knowing stock investing, I guess it's around my Form 1 secondary school time. And most of them were about the negative side of investing, where most of the people losing because of their investment.
For me, as a finance student, I think we more or less have some basics on stock market, how like how stock market works. But I think from my answer to the previous question, you might get a hint that I have very minimal or no practical experience at all with the stock trading. However, I do believe that I'm very close to having my first experience with stock trading, and perhaps by then I will be able to return to the Money Talk podcast again and share my thoughts maybe.
So I guess, following up on your, sort of first experience about stock investing, and how you came to discover about stock investing, I guess at that stage, are there any sort of factors that you see as a hurdle to your stock investing journey? So I suppose from Jacqueline's perspective, it's about the knowledge and not knowing what to do, and the practical experience is absent. I guess what other factors that you see in addition to what you have described? What are other factors that may actually stop you from investing in stocks?
Let me think. It was a while ago since my first step there. I was actually lack of knowledge and lost some, to be honest. But after all, that's what trading is all about. You play with the risk, and then you make your analysis and hope that the return will be in your favor. So I guess for some of the beginner investors, actually they can learn step by step, gaining some of the experience first, and then they can put more. Yeah. How about you, Jacqueline?
I think for my part, I can only discuss my thoughts on, teenagers or anyone else who has an interest but is hesitant or unable to take the initial step, just like me. And I believe the barriers would be a lack of knowledge, like what Mr. Andrew had said just now, or like lack of understanding of trading before moving on to explore. And also the lack of willingness to take risks is one of the hurdles for me to start the first step. But hopefully after this event, I'll be able to overcome this fear of mine and take a step forward. And I hope the same for the MFEC participants as well. Yeah.
All right, thanks. Thank you for the answers. I think that's very useful to know. The perspective of especially younger people when it comes to stock investing. I think probably the next question that I would like to ask is that if as you mentioned, Jacqueline, very rightly so, like one of the barriers is not wanting to take the risk. I suppose the question is there any way or anything that would make you feel more comfortable in taking the risk to do stock investing, whether be it like learning through tutorials, or whether you just invest a small amount of money, maybe like a few hundred ringgits as opposed to thousands ringgits. Would you have any sort of idea on what would make you feel more comfortable taking that risk, taking that first step into actually doing stock investing in real life?
I think for me, maybe MFAC can be your first step to overcome this fear of unwillingness to take risks, because the gain you gain throughout this event is like a paper gain thing, and then you have a simulator platform for you to try out yourself, and then how the buy, sell, and trade thingy goes on a platform that kind of represent a real-time market. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jacqueline. Any thoughts on that, Lucas?
Yeah, similarly, I think MFI could help Jacqueline in solving this fear. I mean, for others who fear to trade also, they can actually experience some of the ways that they think might be useful in stock trading. What I mean here is the trading techniques they have learned through maybe some of the curriculums, or actually they have learned through our workshops. They can actually apply it in the stock trading challenge. So which means that by joining this challenge, they could actually learn by experiencing some of the faults they made. Maybe they have made some wrong techniques applied there, but then they could actually correct it after all, and then they can have more experience little by little, and then they can start entering the real market later on. Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you, Lucas and Jacqueline. Those were really insightful. Lucas, did you mention that you were involved in last year's MFEC or as a participant, or was it Jacqueline? Sorry, I was just trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's me. The simulation competition is another one in Malaysia, but not MFEC. Yep.
Oh, right. So having participated in a simulation challenge before, even though it wasn't MFEC, did it sort of boost your confidence in stock investing?
I would like to say it actually not that impactful for me, because what I did inside that competition is just choose random stocks and then play around, but then I didn't actually gain some useful insights on how to trade the stocks actually. What I can do is just refer to Google, and then I check on the company and then I just figure out myself. Right. So literally I cannot say that I gain much impact from joining this kind of competition lah. Yeah.
Right. Was it because of the structure of the competition that they didn't provide you like, I wouldn't want to say a sophisticated simulator, but more like a simulator with comprehensive analytics where you could refer to and make better informed decisions?
Yeah, I would say so. The simulation platform is really important as for many competitions out here. And another reason I could say is the curriculum provided by the organizer is also another factor that determines the participants' willingness to learn trading lah. Yeah.
Well, I hope Marion would be able to lift up that game. And given that you guys have actually had a glimpse of our demo, what are your thoughts? If you could share with our soon-to-be participants coming on board using this simulator, and also perhaps our listeners as well. Maybe you might want to share a little tips or two with our participants.
Oh yeah, sure. For those participants that might, if they are the first time investor, maybe they can utilize the platform we provide with Marion here. And then I want them to actually 100% utilize the platform to get as much as the information as much as possible as they can. And then actually for them as beginner, for our listeners as well, if they have to make their first step, I can suggest that they can first figure out the field they are interested in. For example, I myself as a band player, what I could do with Marion simulation platform is I would go to the companies, especially for those in the musical field, and then I would know which companies are doing the best in this sector. And then if I want to buy stock, of course, I will go to the company that I feel it's doing well. Well, after figuring out what field I was interested in, and then I maybe start to think of how many money should be allocated. And I think do not put all in as a beginner. You wouldn't be sure how much you will lose. But in Marion simulation platform, you actually can try this. You have 500,000 virtual currency. And then I guess if they made a wrong move, they could know the impact of, okay, say for example, in the real life, if they have 500,000 on hand, and then they just simply go for an investment without doing a proper analysis, then they might have a great loss there. But with Marion, they can try to see the impact of simply putting their money inside any investment, and then they will be reminded that every time before they make an investment, they have to do analysis first. Yeah.
That is a very, very good advice, Lucas. That's great. And I'm sure our listeners and our participants will actually appreciate this as well. And Jacqueline, do you have any, perhaps any last bits of advice that you would like to share with our participants and listeners who will be coming on board for the challenge?
The advice that I'll give to the participants is just try it out, and it's virtual currency anyway. So yeah,
Cool. Yes, try it.
it's hands-on, try it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll always believe that it is important to be practical, hands-on, and that way you learn faster and better. So that's great. Jacqueline, thank you so much. And thank you, Lucas. And thanks, Andrew, for spending your time with me in today's podcast. Very insightful. And thanks so much for sharing, guys. And I can't wait to see you guys again this coming Saturday for the opening of MFEC. And I hereby wish MFEC and your committee all the very best with the challenge and convention.
Really appreciated, Dr. Evelyn. Yeah, we would also like to see you soon in our convention on the first day.
Thank you. And Marion can't wait to actually showcase to the simulator to all of you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Team Marion, for being our partners and also for offering the simulator platform for us and our participants.
It is a pleasure working with you guys as well. Thank you. Thanks for having us as your partner. Well, to all of you who have been following Marion, please keep an eye on our website. Something exciting is coming your way. And it's also last call to all our listeners who have yet to sign up to our waitlist. Please do so quickly to stand a chance to win an iPhone 13. You wouldn't want to miss this. Well, it's almost time for us to close off our waitlist. So act fast. Don't forget to stay tuned for our next episode as we continue this special series.